Hello, back from the break. This is fairly straight up really, as far as guitar talk and all of this sort of business, but as applied to the drum set pieces that I've put together for the show, in the sense that sometimes I just take a simple thing and move it around. I do a lot of lateral thinking. Like I could take a rock beat, but instead of the rock beat being on the cymbal, hi-hat, wherever, you know, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, why don't I put the cymbal part on the snare drum and the backbeat on the hi-hat? Just turn it upside down and I get a whole other thing. Maybe I'll do it left-handed, so to speak. In other words, open style. Boom, bap, boom, boom, bap. But instead of it being the hi-hat, maybe I'll use my piccolos or something. That's a lot of what I do on the drum kit there and all that. If I was to translate that to melody, harmony, all that sort of business, and I've got the guitar on my lap, I could think like this. Now, I could just really do a little thing that I often teach my students: chords make chords. Let's take a D7. Now, what I just did then was essentially the triangle, right? There's D7. But if I move that whole position down just by one string, I now have an A major 7. If I move it down another string, I've got essentially, if I added that there, a B7. Now, with that kind of thinking, there's something there to be had. It might not be the perfect run or whatever. I might just turn it into an A. But the thing about it, it's got me thinking, you see. So I'm thinking different things. One of the things that you can do is do a little bit of sliding up. There's a song I wrote a long time ago, and it really just had a D minor chord. Now, that's got really kind of a different thing to it, I suppose, but what I was actually doing there was a D minor, right, into a form of an F minor, but the D still in the bass, and then an F sharp, really. Okay, there's that there. Look at me giving away all my songs on TV. But what actually goes on is just shapes make shapes and chords make chords, you see. So there's C. What used to happen with that particular kind of thing is that there was a lovely singer I used to play with, and she would just do exactly that. Chords made chords. She just put like an A minor in a different place, and and then myself and the guitarist in the band would have to sit down and work out what the bass line was and all of that sort of stuff. And then you start to get into like things like minor major chords and all this. It's just an A minor chord in the wrong place, is what it is. And what goes on with that is that can really start to extend your playing, because you're almost doing it in reverse. So many people think in terms of, okay, well, I've got to do this, and you've got to add this and all that, and like add the seventh to this and add whatever. But sometimes what will happen is that some of the best sounding things come from an accident. What happens if I just did bang, that? What happens if I did that? And what happens if I stop the phone? What goes on is so much of what you can do. can just come from moving one shape around. Simple as that. It's okay. More after the break.